Are we recording right now?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, hey, I'm Wes.
I'm Murray.
And this is American Zero Podcast. Yeah, from the mountaintops.
Yeah, that's why I was shaking my fist.
You're above the clouds, man. You planted your zero flag at the summit, and then you yelled.
And then I fucking
podcast. A bunch of rams are like eating like the only grass they could find, and they all looked up.
Yeah. I was thinking like the Himalayas where I just die and there's like all those dead bodies up there and shit.
No, you were like, no, I'm never getting down.
Yeah. A bunch of Sherpas are gonna have to fucking
right
come
after
down
you
there.
yelled it, you just kind of looked down, and there was a skeleton at your feet, and you're like, that's it for me.
Yeah, they're talking about like trying to clean up like the
skeletons,
Mount Everest or whatever. Yeah, because all the dead people and stuff and trash that's up there. They're talking about having the military go up there and clean it all up.
The way that you said that is like all the dead people and trash. Like you said it like it was an equal amount of litter.
Oh no, there's like
skeletons and trash.
They were saying it's going to be in the tons.
Oh, I believe
of how much
it.
is up there. I was like, good Lord. And I guess there's like this big ordeal of how the Sherpas are all mad because they think they should be the ones that have to go up. They get to go up there and clean it up. But instead, like the government's having like the military people do it.
Oh, so the Sherpa one, they want like money.
Yeah. I think it's part of that, and also the Sherpas. Like the messed up thing is like the military's probably going to end up asking the Sherpas, "Can you get us up there?"
How far do the Sherpas take the guys?
I don't know. Never been.
I mean, that's fair, but you know a lot about nonsense. So I thought it was a fair question.
I don't know. I don't know if they take them to the summit or
no.
what.
I don't know if they go to the summit. I think they point like there it is. Go. But did you ever watch Everest with Jake Gyllenhaal?
No, I had no desire.
It's a pretty basic movie, but I it makes me never want to climb a mountain.
It looked like a pretty basic movie, so.
But really, it looks like, and I don't know what it is to climb Everest, but it looks like you just walk a path. Like it just they've created a path to get up there. Like I never saw in the movie Everest, they were never using like, when you watch mountain climbing movies,
ice picks and shit.
Yeah, they're like climbing up the side of like Game of Thrones when they're climbing the wall.
I mean, like I said, I don't know what they have to do to get up there. But,
I mean, it's treacherous.
But it's apparently a big enough pain in the ass that if somebody dies, they're like, that motherfucker this is where he lives now.
I wonder if he's
dead here forever.
This is where he lives. Yeah. His ghost is trapped on Everest forever.
Just haunting the place.
He comes out, he's like, oh, they're like, oh, he's like, nah, I'm fucking with you. I am a ghost, though.
That's probably why the abominable snowman is seen more often, because he got tired of all the ghosts, so he moved off the mountain.
I wonder if the abominable snowman is real, and if he creates treacherous terrain
to keep people away.
No, to keep people to die. So then, when everybody leaves, then he can feed on their bones.
He's eating their bodies.
Yeah,
just cold meat. Ugh, gross.
I mean, what is it?
Like
unless nothing has a mean campfire. Who knows? Anyway, what are we talking about today? Your hot Mount Everest talk here on American Zero.
You wanted to talk to me about the movie pass.
Oh, yeah. No, I have a lot of questions. Okay, so Murray got his Regal pass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how much is it?
With tax and stuff, it's just under $20 a month.
So, yeah, okay, so it's $20 a month.
Plus 55 cents every time you buy a ticket through their Regal app, which is bullshit if you ask me, but, whatever.
Oh, do you buy it through the app?
Yes, and you got to pay a convenience fee every time you do.
But you can't. Can you just go to?
You can go to the theater and do it, but the issue I run into with that is that depending on when I'm going to see the movie and what movie it is I probably want to buy my tickets early so I can guarantee get the seat I want, since everything.
Oh, you mean like when you saw Birds of Prey? You probably did that, and it was only like four people in the theater.
Well, pretty much every movie I want to guarantee what seat I'm getting. So if I wait till I get there, that's going to cause a problem. So I decide to avoid
I can guarantee you right now, all the movies you've probably seen so far didn't need any reserves.
No, they didn't. No, you're correct.
Tumbleweeds.
Oh, well, no, I'm wrong. I mean, we're wrong.
Well, Sonic, I bet Sonic was packed.
Sonic was surprisingly, for an 11 a.m. movie, I was blown away by how full it was.
Was on a Saturday?
On a Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was packed. 40-year-old moms and their kids.
Oh, that makes sense.
No.
That makes sense. Okay, so, but my beef with Murray was Murray was telling me all the movies he's been seeing since he got his movie pass. Some of them credible, some of them not so much.
I don't know if some of them are credible.
I mean they're okay. So you saw Birds of Prey, you saw Sonic, which I knew you were going to go see Sonic anyway.
So I saw Fantasy Island and Sonic in the same day.
I was surprised when you saw Birds of Prey because you saw it on the opening night, the Thursday night.
It was the only time I was able to see it.
Oh, okay. But I was surprised by that. I mean, just because I didn't think that was... I knew you were going to hate it anyway, and you did hate it.
Oh, it's crap. It's a terrible movie. People who are like, oh, it's a fun movie. I'm like, no, this movie is if Joel Schumacher was given the go-ahead to make a Deadpool, but he was like, let's make it in the style of Batman and Robin. And that's what you got with this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, it tries to be a Deadpool, and it's not. I'm sorry. Like, people praise the action in it because the action was like choreographed by the guy who did like John Wick and stuff. And I'm like, some of it is like okay, but there's things that are just so sloppy because it's unbelievable. It's like, and it just looks bad. Like, there's this flip kick that just drove me nuts when I watched the movie that she does, where she like does like a spin with the guy and she does a flip and her foot just kind of lands on the guy. And I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to believe that knocked the guy out. I'm like, it just didn't seem right. There's a whole raid on a police station and nobody gets their guns out except one guy. And I'm like, come the fuck on. Not only does she take down an entire police station with beanbags, but after she's in there and she's running around through the building, a motorcycle gang or some shit comes in, and it's like they also are able to just walk in no problem in a police station. And I get you're supposed to like suspend your you're supposed to be your disbelief is supposed to be suspended for this kind of stuff. I couldn't. When I was watching, I was like, this is just ridiculous.
You just weren't buying it.
It was too much. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, and also, it's one of the things I talked to my friend Joe about the other day, is that...
Did Joe hate it as well?
No, Joe's never seen it. He don't really care to see it. Our friend Travis has seen it. He hated it.
What did Travis say to you? Travis texted you and said...
that he made a big mistake by going to see that movie.
Did he go see it by himself?
I think so.
Oh, man.
He was in like Garden City or some stuff.
Oh, work trip, yeah.
My thing is like the other thing I said
Lonely nights in Garden City.
Margot Robbie's an attractive woman. And when I was watching this movie, the whole time I kept thinking, it's like, ugh, she just looks gross. No, she looked dirty. Like even her clothes, like the way they fit her just looked crappy. And I was like, I didn't feel this
skanky.
Yeah, not even that. Like meth head hooker ish.
Wow, that's not skanky.
And well, no, not like I don't know, not like porn star skanky. It was more meth head hooker skanky, and it was just gross. I don't know. I didn't like the movie, and I thought Ewan McGregor was absolutely garbage in the movie.
So you were kind of going into it knowing that this might be bad, but silver lining, I could get turned on, maybe.
No,
you weren't.
I expected it to not be good.
Well, just the whole.
I didn't expect it to be anywhere near as bad as what it was. Like
judging her what she was wearing. I feel like maybe you're hoping to get turned on. And
no, it's something I noticed at one point when there was just one scene where I was like, ugh.
All right.
But that's besides the point.
So anyway, so I gave Murray shit about this, and I was like, you're gonna be running out of steam soon. Right, but I think I'm going to eat my words because I'm going to the coming soon. What's coming out? And since you already went to see, well, you're planning on seeing this week. What are you planning on seeing? You're either going to see.
I'm probably going to go see The Boy 2 this week.
Are you going to take your daughter with you?
No, I'm not going to take it. I'll probably go by myself.
Oh, okay. Well, I know your daughter likes those kind of movies. I thought maybe
I'm too cheap.
You're too. Wow.
Too cheap.
It's all about just saving money.
It is.
Seeing movies and saving money.
It is.
Not about the QT with your kids anymore.
The one that I'm like mulling over in my head is Call of the Wild. I'm like, do I really go see that movie?
Don't go see that.
I almost want to.
Don't go see it for what?
Put out a review.
Oh man! So you're just gonna see shit so you can put out what reviews on this show or reviews?
Oh, we can do them on the show. We'll start putting them on the show. We can take one. I'll take one.
What I actually, you know what I love about you having this movie pass is you're seeing things that I know you're gonna hate.
Yeah, I'm well aware that there's stuff that I'm going to that's gonna be.
It's had the opposite effect on me. Now I don't even want to get the movie pass. I'm like, because I'm like, I don't want to see this shit.
Yeah, but you might want to get it like during the summer, you know.
Oh no, I'll get it during Prime. I should have got it back in the fall when there's a lot of good stuff coming out, but right now. But all right, so here coming up February 28th. The Invisible Man. You're gonna see that. I
am.
I know you're gonna see that.
No,
I'm actually interested in seeing that.
Here's where I am with that.
It's a Blumhouse movie.
I don't think it looks good, but I think like it's one of those movies like, man, it could be okay.
Could be okay. Could be surprising.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Jesus Rolls coming out?
I don't know. I saw the trailer for that and didn't.
It's gonna be bad. I think it's gonna be bad. I was talking to about somebody at work.
I'll probably see it.
So you're gonna see that. What about Guns? Is it Guns Akimbo with Harry Potter? What's Harry Potter guy's name?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Is that the one where they're stuck to his hands?
Yeah, he's got like nailed to his hands.
I kind of want to see it.
You'll see that. Okay. Then there's Greed. I don't even know what that is.
I don't remember that.
Oh, it's some movie with I don't know that guy's name. He was in Tropic Thunder and a bunch of other shit. Windy, I don't know what that is. The Whistlers, I don't know what that is. The Nothing? Oh, what about The Way Back, where Ben Affleck is an alcoholic basketball coach?
I saw the trailer for that the other day, and the first thing I thought was like, probably gonna go see that.
You're gonna go see that? Wow, what an acting stretch for Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a rise from the ashes alcoholic.
It's one of those, I don't know. I just have this like thing where there's a lot, I'm gonna go see shit that I normally would not see.
I can't believe this is a movie that you would have never ever like. I knew you were gonna go see Sonic. I knew all that shit. I knew you were seeing The Invisible Man. This movie, I can't believe you're gonna go see.
I'm gonna go see stuff that I normally would not see, and the whole point is that I'm hoping maybe to be surprised.
You know what you should do? You should last week you got drunk on a bunch of rum. You should take rum into the theater to go see this.
Yeah.
Just in solidarity with Ben Affleck. Fucking drunk. All right. Onward? What about Onward? That's the Pixar movie.
Pixar movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go see that.
I figured you'd go see that. Let's see. I'm trying to go through stuff that actually you might see, not stuff that nobody's ever heard of. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I'm going by now that I've never heard of. I mean, there's nothing. Let's see. Oh, The Hunt. I actually want to see The Hunt.
I want to see The Hunt.
And Bloodshot with Vin Diesel.
I really don't want to see that movie,
What?
but I'm going to. I think it looks kind of like...
I feel like you were more dismissive of Bloodshot than you were that drunk Ben Affleck movie.
No. My problem with Bloodshot is like the reason I said I don't really want to see the drunk Ben Affleck movie, but it's one of those movies that I'll go see just because I have the movie pass.
Okay, but
Bloodshot's in the same boat as that movie. I don't think it's going to be that good. I think Vin Diesel kind of sucks in most stuff. So
I kind of agree. Okay, so let's say the pass, it can only work like say they drop a thing on the app that says you can only use it this week and it's only for The Way Back or Bloodshot.
Oh, it's Bloodshot.
Okay,
for sure.
Good, that's good to hear.
The movie that has the most potential for me to actually maybe enjoy is Bloodshot. Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
Now you're definitely gonna go see Quiet Place 2.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. What about Mulan? Mulan's coming
actually,
out?
I think Mulan looks really good.
You like Mulan?
I think it looks really good.
Did you like? Actually, this is a good place to go to. Where we're in a sidebar real fast. As far as the live action, so Aladdin.
I have not seen Aladdin.
Out of all the live action Disney movies so far, what have you? Because what have we had so far? We've had Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. Wasn't there something before Beauty and the Beast?
I don't know. Did they do Cinderella? I thought they did Cinderella, but I could be wrong.
I don't remember it.
As far as big ones, Dumbo was done.
Oh, Dumbo.
Which no one saw Dumbo.
Yeah.
I didn't hate The Jungle Book, but I didn't think it was
The Jungle Book. That's the one I'm thinking of.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't.
Never saw The Jungle Book.
I didn't really care for it either. I thought The Lion King was a giant pile of shit.
A lot of people say that.
It's awful, and I love the cartoon. It's a bad movie. It just doesn't work.
I watched Aladdin on Disney Plus the other day just because people were telling me it was good. And it was all right. It was entertaining. When the first half hour of it, I was like, what am I doing? I'm 39 years old watching fucking Aladdin by myself.
I mean, I went to Sonic by myself, so.
Yeah, and, so it picked up. But what I was telling you earlier about accents is what I love. But I guess I never, when I was a kid, watched Aladdin picked up on. And there's all these dudes going, "You street rat, give me back my apple." And Aladdin's like, "Why don't you catch me, dude?" And I'm like, wait, where's Aladdin's accent? He's just like, "Hey, I'm a regular guy stealing apples." And everybody's like, "Infidel, I kill you."
Is the bird? Was it what's the bird's name?
I don't know that parrot's name.
But is it obnoxious like Gilbert Godfrey was in the cartoon?
No. You watched Aladdin.
I haven't seen the movie. No.
Oh, I thought you didn't ever watch Aladdin. No. The parrot is just like a parrot. I mean, it talks, but it's not like Gilbert Gottfried at all. It's just like it repeats things.
The Jago or some shit.
Yeah, it repeats things. It spies on people, but it doesn't. It's not like.
But that talking about that.
It's not like, hey, I was at the grocery store the other day and I saw.
That's the aspect of Mulan that I thought was like, okay, I'm glad they did that. They took out Eddie Murphy's dragon character. And
I never knew Eddie Murphy had a dragon character in Milan.
Yeah,
I never saw the original Milan.
Yeah, he plays like this spirit animal that like is like one of the people that protect like spirits that protect her family.
Did he talk like donkey?
Yeah, he is Donkey in that movie. He is 100% Donkey in that movie. And they took that out of this and went for the more realistic approach, obviously, with it. Obviously, now granted,
it's getting a PG-13 rating.
As realistic as you can be with witches turning into owls and shit.
There's violence.
But I actually think the movie looks greatly entertaining. So I might end up liking. I don't know, but like Beauty and the Beast, I thought was a pile of shit. It just the special effects in it, I thought were god awful. And going back to the Lion King. First off, certain lines just don't work when an animal can't display emotion. So that was kind of a problem. And then Beyonce, I can't remember what her name was. The Nala. Is Nala the one that Simba? No, that's the mom.
I don't know.
I don't remember who it is, but the one that Simba's like in love with or whatever. I think that was Beyonce's character. Whoever she played, I swear to God, she just read her lines off of a piece of paper as she was doing them. Like it, very, very.
So hot take, Beyonce, not a good
voice actor,
not a good voice actor,
actress,
to
be correct.
No, you should say actor.
Whatever.
Actor these days.
Not just wasn't a fan of it. Like I thought she didn't pull it off. I mean, and like I said, stuff just didn't work with it being.
So not a fan of Lion King.
And also the animals were kind of like, I mean, they're animals, so sometimes it was like kind of gross. Like in the cartoon, it's like, look at them how they're drawn all cute. I
did.
Warthogs are disgusting.
I did see that clip where is Seth Rogen the warthog?
Yeah.
And then what's the guy's name who played the meerkat or whatever the fuck he is?
I don't remember who did the voice.
He's the guy Billy on the Street. That guy. That's who did it or whatever. But I saw them in one clip when they're in the desert. And I was like, yeah, they look kind of grimy and dirty.
Yeah, not a fan.
All right, well.
But anyways.
Okay, we're just gonna go all the way.
Okay.
We're gonna go all the way to Fast and Furious. So we only got a few left. So known movies. So obviously you're gonna go see New Mutants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem.
You're gonna go see Peter Rabbit 2, Runaway?
I have not seen Peter Rabbit, so no.
I never stopped you before. What about Lovebirds?
Lovebirds. That's the movie with
Camille Nanjiani.
Where they accidentally like get stuck in the middle of the murder plot. I'd probably go see that too.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then you're gonna see the new James Bond.
Yeah, probably.
I stand by the new James Bond movies. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty damn good.
All right, so then we're getting here in late April. Antlers.
What is Antlers?
Antlers is like a horror movie where it's like, I think some guy's like keeping a monster in his cabin or something, and it says,
Oh, no. I saw the trailer for that not that long ago. Yeah. I'll probably go see it.
Yeah, some kid's keeping a monster in his thing. Yeah, it was supposed to come out a while ago, and then it got pushed back. Let's see. The Secret Garden. I don't know if that's worth anything. Antebellum. That's like some.
I have no desire to see that movie. I just like when I saw the trailer for it, I did not. First off, you don't even know what's going on in that movie.
All right, so Black Widow. See Black Widow.
That one I probably see begrudgingly.
Really? I think Black Widow looks all right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I am kind of burnt out on Marvel. I'm
really
yes, and I'm just like, well, but I'll see it. It might be all right.
All right. Legally Blonde 3.
I have no desire to see that. I have not seen 1 or 2.
Well, let me tell you something. Black Widow comes out on May 1st, and then Legally Blonde comes out on May 8th.
I'm not going to see it probably.
Why? That's a week. That's a
because
week.
I'd have to watch the other 2 first, and I have no desire to watch Reese Witherspoon.
I don't think you think Legally Blonde 3 is gonna mean. Is it gonna? It's not like The Godfathers or anything. You don't think you just walk right into Legally Blonde 3 and just get right into it?
Just don't.
Are you gonna be like, what's going on? I never saw 1 or 2.
I just feel like you have to.
Who is this Chihuahua? I don't know who this Chihuahua is.
Yeah, I just feel like you have to.
Okay, all right, fair enough. And then the next week, it's a bunch of shit. And then it's Fast 9. And then Fast 9, me, you, and Travis are going to go in there wearing probably going to wear all three of us going to wear sweatpants just so our boners don't hurt against our jeans. Not that our boners are that big, but
Yeah. Then we'll have a sword fight.
Yeah, probably
with our pants on.
With our pants on. Yeah, I don't want to have just bare knuckle sword fight. All right, well there you go. That's Murray's.
Bare knuckle, huh?
That's Murray's coming soon to theaters near you segment.
Speaking of movies, recently there's been some new reveals of the Batsuit, And the first one, I skipped over it because I thought it was just a Daredevil picture because it was all red. And I was like, what the hell?
You mean the first clips they showed
where
out
they don't show
before the motorcycle?
Yes,
one. Okay.
where they don't show his ears. And I think the reason they didn't show his ears is because after seeing his ears, they look fucking stupid. They look like the upper part of the mask looks like it was something that was made in somebody's garage. I'm not like impressed with it at all. Like I felt like this suit was like something somebody made to wear to Comic-Con, not in a Batman movie. Like you put it to me that it almost seems like it's the crap the guy's pretending to be Batman in The Dark Knight and what they were wearing. That's how it came off.
Murray's wife bringing him beers, him saying, "Thank you, Miranda."
I said thank you.
Oh, did it? You should say it on the podcast so everybody knows how much you love your wife.
Do you need
that
beer?
Would be nice. Nope, I'm good. I just cracked open this big boy. You know what? I will take one. What?
This is good podcasting right here.
Oh, I wasn't having one of Murray's.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah, that's good. That's all right. People know we drank. That's
Anyways,
fine. We're alcoholics.
You had no take on the Batman suit?
No, I mean I did. Well, the whole vague and the red light showing his armor and his face thing. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to get excited for Batman now. And then when we saw the new photos of him on the Bat bike, and I was super confused because I was like, no, wait a second, that doesn't even look like Robert Pattinson. And and everybody that was sharing the story was like, Robert Pattinson in the new bat suit. And I'm like, that's not him. And then finally I found a story that was like, that's his stunt man. And then because I thought the dude's jaw was so square, I thought it was thank you. Thank you for the beer. I thought that that way I wasn't saying randomly thank you right in the middle of our conversation. I thought it was Ben Affleck. I was like, are these stock photos from like Justice League? What is it? But I don't think the armor looked that bad. It did kind of look a little bad.
It wasn't the upper part that bothered me. It was the mask, like the upper part of the mask, and then I thought like his arms kind of looked like the stuff that like I don't know what's on his wrists, but it looked cheap.
What I told you was I was like, it looks like the dudes who were playing Batman vigilantes in Dark Knight, and the dudes that are like, what's the difference between me and you? And he's like, oh, I'm not wearing hockey pads. But the one thing that I hated is that the Bat bike in Christopher Nolan's movies was fucking amazing. The tumbler bike was amazing. This Bat bike they got now, it looks like a Yamaha that they just put a plastic bat symbol where the windshield would be, and he's driving around in his fucking cemetery.
It's like they souped up like the Bat bike from the Adam West.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen, though, is that we're going to trash this because when Keaton's Batman ended, or when Schumacher ended that Batman series, and then Nolan redid it, and then when Christian Bale, remember we were like, Christian Bale, he's going to be the new Batman. Everybody's like, oh, what the fuck? Who the fuck is this guy? That guy from American Psycho? That guy's a loser.
That Newsies motherfucker?
yeah. That kid, that dirty kid from Empire of the Sun.
Oh, I forgot he was in that. It's an awesome movie, by the way.
Yeah. That dirty kid is going to be Batman? Not on my watch, buddy. It's like one of the best Batmans ever.
That's how mad everybody was about Heath Ledger, though, as the Joker.
Yeah.
They're like, no way. Not happening.
And turns out he has one of the best acting performances ever.
And then he dies.
And he dies. That's
leaving us wondering what could have came after.
What could have, yeah. But so we're probably gonna trash it and be like, it looks fucking nerdy and stupid, and then it's gonna be an amazing. Yeah.
There's always the potential. I mean,
I do like though about the Batman movie about how many multiple characters that are gonna be in it.
Yeah, but man, that's a hard thing to do.
You think it's too much for one movie?
No, I don't think it's too much because like I feel like the Russo brothers proved with like the Marvel movies that you can take 1 million people and put them in one movie and still tell a great story and still do a really good job. It's just not easy.
It's going to have to be, hopefully it's 2.5 hours, something so we can wrap it all up.
Yeah, that's another thing, man. Movies. Like, I listened to a podcast today, it was Rogan's, where Bill Maher talked about how movies are too long. He said people's attention spans are either 7 seconds or 3 hours long. He goes, that's what we have now. And it does seem like in this day, like I really thought like, yeah, why does everything need to be 2.5 hours now? Why does everything need to be that long?
Well, I just told you right before we started the show, I told you about how I watched the Cabin in the Woods, and I didn't even look before I started watching. I was like, I haven't seen this in a while, and I remember really liking it when I first saw it, and that came out in 2011 or something.
Yeah.
and I hadn't seen it in so long, so I turned it on and I was going through it and I was like, God, I really like this movie, and I hit pause to do something and there was like 25 minutes left and I was like, this is great. This is the perfect time.
Sonic was like, I think, an hour and 40 minutes or something like that, and it never felt like long to me. Like when I was watching it, I was never like ready for it to be over or anything like that.
You liked Sonic.
I thought it was.
You like Jim Carrey in it?
I thought it was okay. I thought Jim Carrey was awesome in that
Really?
movie.
Yeah.
It was very much a reminder of like who he was when he early on in his career, and that's what I loved about it, is that and he played a really good jerk, and that's what made it awesome. Then like I said, I saw Fantasy Island right after that, and Fantasy Island's like an hour and a half. And
wait, so Fantasy Island is that? So what's the plot of Fantasy Island?
There's an island where you can go, and this guy is like this mysterious guy. It's like some rich guy that everybody's like, how does he do it? How does he make everybody's fantasies come true? And basically the plot is that you go there and you have to act out your fantasies, and you have to see them to the end, and your fantasies don't always turn out to be what you think they're going to be. There's a twist in the movie, and that's why I'm kind of like trying not to like.
Yeah, you're really bad about.
Well, because it's not like, it's because there's no way, there really is.
In a way, is it a way to describe the movie without the twist?
No, because the whole plot, this is what makes the movie terrible, is the whole plot of the movie is unknown until the twist. Because you're like, what is going on? It's like it's first
where does the twist happen in the movie?
Not till like the last 20 minutes.
Oh man.
And you're like, what is the whole time I was watching, I was going, what is the point?
Yeah.
Everybody's just having fantasies, and then the fantasies are going awry, and it's like, why? What's happening? Why? There's no point to anything going on in this movie. By the way, I don't know how you felt, but I felt like it was advertised like it was going to be like a horror film.
It's not.
There's like zero horror in this movie.
Really?
Like it's more.
That's that's what I thought when I saw the preview.
No, not at all. Like there's like a little element of it, but it makes no sense because like there's more action in it than you would expect. Like there's like gunfights and shit in this movie, which you would not get from the trailer. And that's what kind of cracked me up when I was watching.
Yeah,
I was like,
the trailer to me looked like a supernatural thing going on.
There is a supernatural thing going on. The island is kind of alive. It's like the best way. I think I put it on the Facebook page. I said it's like somebody watched Lost and was like, okay, and then they watched the Event Horizon and they were like, all right, now I'm gonna take these two movies, take all the good that's in those movies, throw it in the trash, and then leave what's left over.
Man, Event Horizon, underrated movie.
Oh, big time. It's a bad movie, and it mainly, like I said, the twist. Like there's a twist coming. You see it coming.
Yeah.
You might not know exactly what it is,
but it's gonna be.
But
there.
and then when it happens, it makes like a huge chunk of the movie make no goddamn sense whatsoever. You're like, wait a minute, why did all this happen then? Once, like seriously, there's a storyline that goes on through the movie that, like, once you realize the twist, you realize that the person that's involved in a twist would not be doing any of the stuff that they were doing early on in the movie. It's like, okay, this. You just decided at the end, let's just change things up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Was it long?
No, it's only an hour and a half. That's the thing. Bad. That's the one thing I would say. It's a
long hour and a half.
It's not even that.
Oh.
It's just a bad movie. It's not good at all. But that's the one thing I can say is like I didn't feel like I was at the theater too long. I felt like when they ended it, I was like, okay, it probably should end here.
Yeah.
So
you were relieved.
It didn't drag on. Yes, right. I was relieved. So you want to talk about Shawshank finally coming to Netflix?
Oh, you didn't want to talk about that?
I do.
No, I'm extremely happy about this.
I don't give a fuck.
About Shawshank?
Period.
You don't like Shawshank?
I think it is one of the most overrated movies. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's extremely overrated.
Are you serious?
Oh, always have. I've always been like, I just don't see.
Oh man, it's like top 5 for me. It's fucking fantastic.
Not even in my top 10.
I love it. Wow, really?
Yeah, I've always thought it's extremely overrated.
What's your problem with it?
I guess
I did not see this going this way.
That's why I wanted to talk about it, because I knew you wouldn't. I just don't get what the big deal is about it. Like when I watch it, it just seems kind of like a run-of-the-mill movie to me.
No, it's false.
What's so great about it?
I don't know, man. It's redemption. It's about like for instance, my favorite scene of that movie is being on the rooftop and when he talks the guards into letting his buddies have 3 beers apiece, or whatever, and he does his taxes for him and all that. And it was just the fact that those dudes got to feel freedom. You know what I mean? Just for that day with the sun basking on them. It might be the score too. The score of the movie is amazing. I don't know. I love it. I think it's a great movie.
I think it's good. I don't think it's great. That's my thing. It's like if I was sitting here like giving it a score out of 5.
I think this might be one of those things where you're going the other way on it because everybody loves it so much.
No, if I gave it a score out of 5, I'd probably give it a 2.5.
Really?
Yeah.
That is surprising.
Like I've always been like, I just don't see what the big deal about this movie is. I don't like I said, I don't think it's bad at all. But why it gets put up there as one of the greatest movies ever made is beyond me.
Oh, I think it's a great movie. The only problems I have with it though is him when he escapes and how he was just banking on there being a thunderstorm and he could take the rock and every time lightning hit, he could hit that. So I'm wondering, did he dig that far, go down that far, and then he realized I need to wait every time there's a storm, and then when the thunder hits, I bang on this pipe. You know what I mean? And give himself enough time each time. Maybe he goes back up, comes back down every time there's a thunderstorm, and like this is it.
God damn it! Even then, like. But
when you that's the biggest beef I have with the movie is when they find the hole he goes through. The hole in the pipe is fucking humongous. So that's what I was like. And then when it shows him hitting the pipe and all the sewage spits out on him, I'm like, how did he? But that's just because he hit that hole. Like, how could that whole hole come out of that one pipe?
Well, that's what my thing is. My thing is like
that's the only beef I have with it.
That like not only is like the timing having to be right. But man, that would have to be a hellacious lightning storm in order to hit it that many times. And like here's the other thing too: is like we live in Kansas, we have these kind of storms all the time. How can you time anything to that shit? Like there's no way you'd be able to be like right on time with. I mean, I just don't see how you'd be able to do it.
You never know.
But like but that was like something I never even thought about.
It was back in the '60s. Plumbing probably wasn't what it is today.
True.
So,
True.
Probably why that pipe exploded the way it did.
Yeah. I buy that more than I do the John Goodman escaping from Raising Arizona.
And pulling William Forsythe by his feet out of the thing. Yeah.
Which I still love to this day. You can see the wire holding him when he lifts him. Yeah.
That's great. I can't believe you don't like Shawshank. That is crazy to me.
I don't hate it. I just don't think it's as good as everybody else thinks it is. That's all there is to it.
I think it's amazing.
I still think I think it's
great storytelling. But I do like period. Like I wouldn't say period movies, but stuff that goes on over a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like and just the fact that you thought he was getting to his breaking point, but really the whole time he was planning his escape. I just think it's a great movie.
I think my problem with this, I think it's kind of corny. Like yes, I just find it all kind of like just cheesy. Like I'm like, nah, it's too much for me.
Well, there you go. I gotta say Clancy Brown in that movie though. Really going for it.
Clancy Brown, man, somebody that like a lot of people.
Clancy Brown is an underrated guy.
People don't know who he is, but like
what Clancy Brown movie or show I like that was Carnival on HBO.
Oh yeah, he was awesome
great
in that movie.
He
was the priest, wasn't he?
Yeah, the demon priest.
I loved that dude. I thought that dude was amazing as Gus.
Pet Sematary.
Yes,
too.
As Gus. Oh yeah, I loved him in that movie.
Especially when it was at Edward Furlong when he came into the house, not really confront them, but was like, "What's going on?" And he was like cooking in the kitchen. He had that
when he was eating the food and shit.
Yeah, he had the electric knife. Yeah,
I love when he like
his head just duct taped to his body.
I loved when he was shoving that dude's head towards the bike, and his scarf got caught in the bike, and then it fucking ripped his whole fucking face off, and he just goes, "Oops."
Yeah,
yeah. Clancy Brown is somebody that he's really good at everything he's in, but he's always like a nobody in it.
You know what I didn't realize the other day is that I was watching Thor. One of the other movies I watched right before I got rid of Disney Plus was Thor Ragnarok, which is up there for me as Marvel movies go. I love Thor Ragnarok. But didn't realize Clancy Brown is he's the giant flaming devil guy.
I didn't realize that either.
Well, because the third time I watched it the other day, I was like, that voice sounds familiar, so I got an IMDb, and yeah, that's him.
What TD or whatever his name is, the guy who directed it. He's doing the next Thor movie, which gives me hope for that one.
I think it's Taika Waititi.
Yeah, something like that.
Taika Waititi.
And but he did, I believe,
someone probably listen. One or two people who listen to this are probably like
he did the last 2 episodes, I believe. I think it was both episodes of The Mandalorian, which were also awesome.
Yeah.
Which is why I talked to a dude at work, and after we watched it, me and him both were like, they should just let that dude just do Star Wars stuff because that shit was amazing. And I mean,
did you ever watch his in the shadows, or what's it called? The vampire.
I think it's in the shadow. Something I know what you're talking.
We're
about.
in the shadows. Did you ever watch the movie though?
I have not, and I want to.
It's amazing. You should watch it. I need to watch the show that FX put out this past year.
I heard that's good too.
But the movie, I haven't watched yet. But the movie is amazing, man. It is. It. I think you would love it. It's all over the map.
Well, see, that's my thing. Like, I'm gonna have to write that down because that's been my thing. Like this year, I told Miranda, I said I've wanted to watch something new that I've never seen.
Who's Miranda?
My wife.
Oh, that lady that brought us beers earlier.
Yeah, I wanted to watch something I had never seen, guaranteed at least one movie per week on average, which I'm way ahead of the weeks on stuff I haven't seen. That's why, like I told you, like if I haven't seen it all the way through, or it's something that I only watched like here and there on TBS, like Shawshank could be one of those movies where you only watch parts of it on, because that motherfucker was on TBS like every day, it seemed like.
Well, that's why I was excited that it was on Netflix.
Because you can watch the whole thing?
Because man, if it's on TNT or TBS, you can watch bits and pieces, but it's like channel surfing.
But that's
because it's such a long movie, and it's like on TNT for like 4 hours, like 6 to 10.
That was the thing with Donnie Brasco. Donnie Brasco was on like FX or something like that. And like that was like the only few times I ever saw it, but I never I
swear to God,
I don't even miss 20 minutes of the movie.
I swear to God, Donnie Brasco on network TV. I swear to God, they made it for people who take cigarette breaks. Because it was like, it would stop. You come back from commercial, like, all right, here we go. And it'd be like 8 minutes, and they'd be like, commercial. I'm like, is this for mafia guys?
Yeah.
Is everybody smoke breaks? Like, what the fuck?
And
this is like, come on, man.
That's been my thing. It's like, I don't count it if I've only been channel surfing and watching it. And that's why that movie was on my list of shit I haven't seen. I'm actually keeping a list of everything I'm watching this year, so I can see, like, at the end of the year, like, how much shit I watched. And I'm, like, at, like, 14 movies at this point. Total.
For the year?
Yeah, that I've never seen before. Thus far.
Oh, you mean just total?
Yeah.
Total movies to watch.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought for the theater, and I was like, what?
No. Because there's stuff Donnie Brasco is one of those movies I had never seen. Kill the Irishman is another one I'd never seen. And I watched that.
Oh, you had never seen Donnie Brasco before this year?
Not all the way through, 100%.
Oh,
no.
wow.
And that's what I mean. I said, like, I've seen parts of it here and there or caught it in pieces. Never watched the whole movie. And that's what I've been doing.
I was really surprised earlier before we started the show.
About
Zodiac. You said you have never seen Zodiac.
Yeah, that's why I've been forcing myself to do it.
Zodiac's a great movie.
Like, there was a brief period, like, a few months ago that I was like, I'm going to play more video games. And I did that. I was playing more games and beating them. Like, I was making sure I was beating them. But then I realized, like, I'd rather watch movies. And that's what I've been enjoying a lot more. Like, I've been just pushing myself to watch
out of all those movies, like you going through all these movies, the ones that not the ones at the theater, but the ones that you haven't, the ones that have been well known that you haven't seen yet, like the Donnie Brascos and the Zodiacs or whatever. What's been your favorite so far?
So far, there hasn't been that many, but it's easily Zodiac. Holy shit, that movie's amazing. Like I'm even writing scores on my list as I'm doing it. Like, what would I give it? That movie gets a 5 from me.
Really?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. First off, I thought the acting in that movie was incredible. I was just like, this movie's amazing.
You know what we should do?
Yeah.
For our you should make a poll after this episode comes out, and let's do Zodiac or Shawshank Redemption.
I'm gonna lose.
We never know.
I know. I do know. I know.
You're right, but let's just get interactive.
Shawshank is like,
we'll probably only get 4 votes anyway.
Yeah, but Shawshank is like one of the #1 movies on IMDb.
It's the top-rated movie on IMDb.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was.
Oh, by the way, it's.
I'm definitely not in the norm.
What's funny is if you go off of top rating stuff like that, it's top-rated movies. I'll go right here real quick. It's at 9.2. Godfather 9.1. Godfather 2, 9.0, Dark Knight 9.0.
Now, hang on.
Now, here's what's crazy.
Hang on.
Now, listen to this real quick. Now, stop.
There's a theory behind why it's...
That's fine, but I want you to listen to me real fast.
All right.
First of all, I don't even care about IMDb reviews because every movie that's, like, you think is good and you like the majority of movies are, like, 7.5. But hold on. I'm not done yet either.
All right,
but when you told me to watch Rick and Morty last week and I started watching, I was like, oh, this show is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I went to Rick and Morty IMDb.
They got a terrible score?
9.3.
Wow.
It might be higher rated than Breaking Bad.
Jesus. Yeah, but they got a hardcore fan base. That's why.
Yeah.
No, my thing is there's a...
So you're doing all this movie stuff, but here's what you're going to do. For me, you're going to, while you're watching movies, in between that, you're going to watch Breaking Bad. How about you do that? Like, just watch a couple episodes here and there.
All right. Yeah, I can do that. It's something I've never done. I do want to watch it, so I'll force myself to do that.
Anybody that you know that's watched? Actually, you know what?
I do know people who have watched it.
Who do you know?
Well, I mean, there's people at my work that have watched it.
Okay. I think Adam's watched it, but Travis has never watched it. Our friend Travis
No,
watches
it's a show that like I got like the problem is with the TV shows is that like once they're like, you know, if I miss the first season, it's like you got to understand you got to go through a lot to get through all of it.
That's true, but the first season of Breaking Bad is only like 6 episodes.
And that's my thing. It's like once I'm behind on a show, it's very hard for me to get into it later because I feel like I've got to do all this work to get through it. I got to watch a bunch of shit, but I'll start watching
on
it because
Netflix. It's only 40 minutes an episode.
But my thing is like I have a feeling that if I start watching it, I'll probably end up being like, this shit's amazing.
You will
just keep watching.
And the first season, don't let the first season distract you. It's like think about Game of Thrones, right? The first season of Game of Thrones, there's a lot of people that are turned off by it. They're like, man, this shit is boring. And then everybody tells you like, hey, once you get through that first season, the second season, and the third season, everything like that, it's fucking incredible. But a lot of people can't get to that first season. But what's crazy about Game of Thrones is once you get through it all and then you rewatch it, there's so much good stuff in season 1 that sets up the rest of the whole series. You know what I mean?
See, I'm a person who got bored with Game of Thrones like about the 3rd season.
Well, you only got bored with it because it was a super spoiler heavy show and you had to go online ahead and look at all the endings. You had to go online ahead and look at all the spoilers.
No,
you did do that.
No, but that's not even. But like the spoilers and stuff I read were just from the book. I was like, to see where they're in the book. The show went wildly off from where the book was.
Not too much from the first 3 seasons.
Well, no, but like I don't know. I was getting bored with it. That's why I had to move ahead. I was like, this is boring me.
Nah, you can't resist. When everybody loves something and can't wait to see what's next, you will go ahead. If you know there's content, you will go ahead to find out.
No. It has nothing to do with that though. It has to because I'm this way with a lot of shows. Like a lot of shows, like they lose my interest. Like I lost interest in Homeland, and I was really into Homeland.
Homeland fucking sucks.
But there's so much going on in my life that a show has to be like incredible.
That makes sense.
Incredible to keep me like, I got to keep watching this.
I'll tell you what's a really great, like mindless show to watch, but it's actually still really good is Shameless. That show is fantastic.
The William H. Macy show?
Yeah, I mean,
my mom loves that show.
You can just watch it, but there's nothing, there's not like huge spoilers and anything going on. It's just about just life in Chicago, and it's highly, highly entertaining.
It's like, especially if it's an in-depth show like Game of Thrones, it's hard for me. It's not even like, it was never like I thought Game of Thrones started sucking. It was never anything like that. It was just
that is crazy because anybody else would tell you that's when you're saying it's sucking is when to me it's peaking. So you thought it was its highest at season 1?
No. I'm saying that like I never thought the show sucked.
Oh,
and it just got too much for me to be able to like watch because I'm busy doing other shit and trying to do other crap, and like I had my list of like what are my priorities. Who fucking knows? A new video game might have came out, and I thought that's my priority right now.
Video game days,
but
I should go back and watch your Game of Thrones.
No, I want to. That's the other thing too. I am a person who does better with shows I can binge than I do with shows I got to wait week to week.
You know what's crazy is right now I agree, and right now there's a show on HBO called The Outsider, and it's based off a Stephen King novel, and it's really good. But I think we've been spoiled. I've not talked about this before. We have, but we've been spoiled with streaming. But like that show, like I can't wait to watch it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, fucking.
The Mandalorian drove me nuts.
Yeah, The Mandalorian.
It drove me nuts because it was short, and that's what like I could have handled.
Well, it was weird because it would be like 37 minutes one episode, and the next episode would be like 48. So it was kind of all over the map with time.
Yeah, I was like, God damn, you just release them all.
All right. So what I loved. About the Shawshank thing is you have been working on your poker face because we usually when we go through notes and we talk about things, I'll say something or say I got this, I got that, or I got my opinion on this or whatever, and usually you're like, or you'll be like, or you'll do your snap point, or you're like, I want to talk about that too.
Yeah,
but you fucking were just like, you almost act like you didn't even want to talk about it. And then you brought it up, and then you brought it up, and so you sold it really well that you really wanted to disagree with me on.
What I was going to say to you earlier, there's a theory about.
So, hey, kudos for you, man.
That not that it's a bad movie, it's about why it's ranked so high on IMDb.
I don't agree with that.
And hang on, because like that's one of the things like the guy went into like wrote this huge article, and he went into like. I'm telling you, if you read it, like it kind of blew my mind, like how in depth he went into like movie reviews and all this other stuff of that movie, and was explaining how the popularity of that movie Like, no one gave a fuck about it. I'm not saying it isn't, people don't consider it that good. He was explaining how it being on TNT and being on TBS is what ended up propelling it into what it is. He's like, his whole thing basically was that if it never would have been on network television all the time, no one would have gave a shit about that movie. And he was saying,
but it was nominated for Best Picture.
Well, and he brought that up too, but he's saying, but the overall public didn't go see it. It didn't do that well, and no one gave a crap after all that was over. And he was saying once that happened is when it started climbing up, and everybody started being like, "No, this movie's amazing." And
so going back on it,
it didn't get as much appreciation.
I think it was nominated in the same year as Pulp Fiction and Forrest Gump. I think
another movie I think is overrated.
You think Forrest Gump's overrated? I think Forrest Gump's overrated also.
Incredibly.
But what's crazy is I've rewatched Forrest Gump.
It does not. To me, it doesn't hold up at all.
The special effects don't hold up. But the one thing that I think that it does have going for it is that it's fucking nonstop. I mean, it doesn't stop. It just goes into everything. I think that's why it's so easy to rewatch, because it never stops.
I have a problem with the movie when I'm watching it, and like the whole scene with him and John Lennon, that one just irks me to death.
No possessions?
Yeah, because it's just so cheesy. It's just so, to me, it's bad.
The special effects don't hold up.
It's
though.
bad writing. It was like, oh, no possessions too. It's like, oh, come on, you're really hamming it up and like just shoving it down our throats at this point.
What's so crazy is that out of all those movies around that time, to me, the only special effects that really hold up are Jurassic Park. Out of all that shit, and they're making giant dinosaurs move. And I mean, there's the only time where it really, like, when you saw Jurassic Park in the theater. And you first saw the brontosaurus, and you were like, holy shit. That is the one part in that movie that kind of doesn't hold up.
Yes, I agree.
But the T-Rex chasing you part holds up. Raptors hold up. Everything, all that stuff holds up.
There's a YouTube channel called The Corridor Crew. You should watch them, and they're effects guys, and they actually go back and look over old stuff and new stuff and see what doesn't hold up and what does, and why, and they explain why it works the way it does. And like Jurassic Park's one of the ones they bring up regularly, saying like everything they did to get like that whole T-Rex stuff to look the way it did and all that. And it's like mind blowing the levels of what they did. They like cheat in terms of like what the computer could and couldn't do and all that kind of stuff. And that's why it holds up to this day. Because like, so if it wasn't for that channel, I would never have an understanding of why, like, you can watch a movie, like a big special effects extravaganza that might have a scene in it that looks bad. And when I was watching, like, a perfect example would be the video today. They were talking about Shazam when these monsters show up or whatever. And they were explaining how...
Oh, all those Deadly Sin guys or whatever they were?
Well, they were explaining how there's, like, when the monsters show up in this one scene...
Did you like Shazam?
I haven't seen it. I still have not seen it.
Oh, it's not too bad.
I want to. Yeah, it's...
I thought it was okay. I liked it.
There's this...
It's on HBO.
There's a scene in the movie where they're explaining that this was one of the, what do you call the reshoots. And they said that when they got when they did the reshoot, anytime there were special effects, it's got to be rushed. And they were explaining, like, we only had enough time to do this kind of stuff. And that's what they were, what they explained on there is, like, people don't realize a lot of times you can see what is considered the greatest effects team on earth do the most amazing shit you've ever seen in your life, and then turn around and do a movie right after that. It's absolute garbage. And it's because those guys had a year to do it in the last movie and had 3 weeks in this movie. And they said that's the biggest problem in the effects industry. And that's what they were explaining. Like, they showed like a scene in the movie. They said, like, look at this. It looks awesome. But if you look in the background, you can see this monster was just kind of moving all stupid. And they said it's because we didn't have time to mess with it and we knew nobody would care. So they just put it in there and let it go. And that it's given me a greater appreciation for like that kind of stuff, because I never thought about like how much time those guys have to make stuff look better and better. And they say that's like the number one thing is like studios don't care. It's got to be out at this time, and they're like, well, then it's gonna look like shit.
All right, well, there you go. Hot special effects talks here at American Zero.
Yeah, you had some stuff you want to talk about The Office.
Oh man, I'm rewatching The Office.
Brutal segue there.
Now look. I love The Office. It's probably my favorite sitcom of all time. I've rewatched it. I can't even tell you how many times. But I was running out of stuff to watch when I go to bed, so I just restarted it. And man, also the reason I restarted it is there's always these jokes going around about like, oh, I'm going to watch something like memes and stuff. Like, I'm going to watch something new on Netflix tonight. then later tonight rewatching The Office again. You know, Adam, our buddy.
I swear to God, it's the only reason I have Netflix.
Adam says sometimes he just watches random episodes. He doesn't even like watch them in order. He just like picks a random episode and it shows up. But
That's where we are.
But rewatching it, I started thinking about everything that Michael does. But I'm like, okay, first of all, here's how when it first popped in my head when he was I think it was season 3 when he was doing the. Was it the safety in the workplace?
Uh-huh.
And Daryl was downstairs, and remember Daryl's on the crutches, and he's talking about the baler, and he's like, "You can't put this in the baler." And all that. And Michael kept interrupting him, and so then Michael got in his head that they're too soft and cushy upstairs.
The Nerfy life.
So he wanted to show everybody about depression and jump off the roof. So they put the trampoline down. And they dropped the watermelon that smashed on Stanley's car.
Yeah.
But when they panned down, I noticed there was boxes against the wall of the outside building, and I was like, "Oh, they bought and built that trampoline right there." Then on top of that, he was able to get Dwight to get rid of the trampoline and then go and buy a bouncy castle. And this all happened in one day. They had enough time to put a trampoline together.
No, there's lots of stuff like that in that show where I'm always like, how'd they do this all in one day?
The
One work period.
The rabies run where he got all those shirts and wristbands and everything printed in like one fucking day.
Yeah.
On a run.
But some of the stuff that they do on the show, like when they had Bob Vance's bachelor party, I was sitting there thinking, like, well, they're going to have this in like one lunch period?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no way. But it was. It was all in one lunch period.
He was able to cook like 13 steaks on his foreman in what, an hour?
Yeah, and have a stripper come down, and they were going to play poker all in an hour.
Well, I don't know if, honestly, that probably took 3 hours because they never did anything. My favorite thing is when Ryan became boss for that one season. Like, and he's just like, he's like, "Michael, I worked there. I know how much manpower is wasted here on a daily basis."
Yeah, honestly, that dude should have fired Michael right as soon as he was the boss.
I was surprised he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that show. I watch it repeatedly. It's my favorite. It's by far my favorite show ever on television. Period, for me.
I'm with you 100%.
It cracks me up though how popular it is now because of Netflix, and like me and you couldn't find anybody to talk to about it except for like Travis, and that was about it back in the day.
Yeah. Well, Adam watched it. Adam watched it every week.
That's what I mean. Outside of our
but our group watched it every week, but a lot of people didn't. And then what's even more crazy is that how kids who are like 20 years younger than us, like not even that, like even 25 years younger than us are watching it and they love it.
Miranda's daughters have shirts for the show. It's Sally, her daughter Sally. It's her favorite fucking show.
You got like a second coming from Netflix from kids that are like, from 12 to like 16 that love it.
But you know, it's one of those things where it kind of. I wish Community would end up on Netflix because I wonder if it would get a bigger.
I rewatched all of Community like a month ago. That show is so fantastic.
I wish there was. I would love to have other people to talk to about that show and how ridiculous it is and how awesome it was. But even then, you know what?
I love Joe McHale's character on there because he was always trying to get out of everything. You know, Jeff Winger, and he's trying to get out. He never wanted to be included in anything. But Chevy Chase's character, we wanted to be in everything.
Yeah.
No matter how mean it was or bad, he wanted to be. He was so mad when he was excluded, and then when he confronted Jeff, and he goes, "Jeff, how would you?" He's like, "Jeff, would you like it if I excluded you?" And he goes, "Yes." That's like one of the funniest.
I think like that show. What like one of my favorite like concepts and stories that came out of that whole show was the episode with Professor Professorson and how the class was
conspiracy theory,
and how the class was just made up to begin with, but then it was real. But then they find out that like that wasn't real,
and then it went so meta that like they were all shooting each other with fake guns.
Yeah.
And then the police officer came in and then shot the professorson with a gun, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's just a joke." And then the cop's like, "This is what happens when you play with fake guns."
It was so ridiculous. It was like the most over the top, like most in-depth story I think I've ever seen in my life on a show. And it was just so stupid because it all started with him making up a class that basically is like to teach him a lesson. It's like they created the actual class.
I think what happened with Community though is that it like for us we loved it because it just kept getting weirder and weirder and crazier and funnier, and that's what we like.
Yeah.
But like its first 2 seasons I think were successful because there was a lot of will they, won't they kind of stuff. You know what I mean? With some weird stuff, you know. But then like season 3 and beyond, and then it really started to get fucking weird.
It went over people's heads, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't a show for everybody. It was definitely a show for nerds, especially like I feel like it's one of those shows that if you weren't like, I think a lot of stuff would have went over your head if you weren't well versed in movies and just pop culture.
Yeah,
in general.
there's a lot of reference jokes in Community. That's for sure. All right, well.
All right. Well, it was The Office in Community. So I put it up on our Facebook page and our what do you call it?
We had a lot of movie talk
the
today.
Instagram.
Did you think it's weird that when we first started the show way back in 2000 and was it 9? I don't even know. It had to be back then.
I'm 38 now. We didn't start the show until after I started working at my new job, and I didn't start there until I was right before.
Nah,
I
you were still
30.
working at Dairy Queen.
I know. I turned 30 working at this place. We went to Vegas that year, and
Oh, really?
So we started the show then. So that would have been eight years ago, just over 8 years ago.
Hey, I want to get into something. This is just Vegas talk real quick. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking about Vegas. So last weekend, okay. So a couple weekends ago, got drunk, had a really good time. Come up the next weekend, right? Everybody's looking for a weekend off. Happens to be another friend's birthday, and then we're like, man, we can't miss her birthday. You know what I mean? Like, we need to go out and hang out with her for her birthday. So we're like, all right, so we're going to go out that weekend, right? So Adam and Robin were like, oh, yeah, I'm going to take a break from drinking. I was like, I understand. We've been going hard for a while. The weekend before was Super Bowl, so that's my bad. Yes, so it was Super Bowl weekend. And then it was our friend Allison's birthday. And so we went out for Allison's birthday, and that was a good time. And then the next weekend, everybody's like, oh, we got to take a break. And then I was all like thinking in my head, like, you know what? I thought about, I'm not going to drink till St. Patty's Day. Because we all go out for St. Patty's Day. That's long gone. I gave up on that dream. So then I came here next Saturday, and then me and you got drunk.
Oh, that's why I got wasted.
We got so drunk we couldn't even finish the cast.
I'm gonna release that episode. Matter of fact, as you're listening to this, I'm hoping that episode's already out. But it ended, and I don't know if I even addressed it on the show, that I got the hiccups so bad I couldn't stop them. So I was like, I can't record.
So
that, and I think we kind of forgot.
What?
I forgot that we were recording when we were.
No, I didn't. We did it. You were recording and you just kept hiccuping, and that's when you had to stop.
I know, but like I had planned on going back to it, but then it kind of got to.
Oh no!
I was so wasted.
But I asked you, do we want to address going back to do it, and you were just like, fuck it, who cares?
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
That's how wasted I was.
So anyway, so then came over here. So then I was like, all right, now I'm gonna take a week off. But then the week's over. Man, I honestly, I don't even give a shit anymore. But we're going to the post office. I'm going to drink every Saturday. Unless there's absolutely nothing going on. You know what I mean? If there's nothing going on.
You're not going to get loser drunk?
I won't drink by myself. But if there's nobody invites me anything, no one's doing anything, then I won't drink.
That reminds me of back in the day when we were in like our senior year of high school. Like me and you used to talk about like, we're not potheads because we ain't smoking by ourselves. And I was like, that's right. We ain't potheads. And then I started smoking by myself. And I was like sneaking out to do it and wasn't telling anybody I was doing it because I didn't want anybody to know I was a pothead. And like there was one time I was getting ready to leave and I opened up my garage door and you and Kingsley pulled up. And you pulled in the driveway and you're like, oh, hey, man, what's going on? And I was just like, oh, I'm just going to go for a drive. And you're like, oh, well, let's go driving around. And it's like, yeah, I was excited to hang out with you guys. But at the same time, I was like, damn it.
You really want to just like drive around and get high.
I was like, I'm going to go get high because I'm a pothead.
But so getting back to Vegas, here's what I was thinking. So getting to all that. So last weekend we got drunk, right?
Yeah.
And then that next day, since I work at the post
I
office,
was still drunk that next day.
well, since I work at the post office, I have a federal job, so I have President's Day off, which is the following Monday, right?
Yeah.
So me and Steve decided to go to Hollywood Casino. Well, Steve drinks, but he doesn't ever drink when we go to the casino because he
DD.
He DDs me. So we went up there, and I had a really good time. We ran into our buddy Corey up there who likes to gamble. So me, Corey, and Steve were running around the casino having a good time, just like play this, play that. It was fun, and so then I woke up on Monday, my day off, my extra day off, and I was like, oh man, I didn't feel bad. I just felt so exhausted, and then I started to think, I'm 39. How can I do this in Vegas? And then I started thinking to myself, if I don't, not if I stop drinking, but say for instance, you go sober till Vegas, and you start drinking in Vegas.
I think I'm going to get wasted faster. And I think
you're going to get drunk faster, but I feel like the next day you're probably going to feel really fucking bad because you haven't drank it. You know what I mean?
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, I was going to say that too. It's like, it's going to hit me harder.
So I don't know how to feel about it. So I don't know if I should just keep it up until Vegas because I don't want to. I'm going to Vegas for 3 days. I don't want to lose any one of those days because the last time I went, I fucking lost a day because I got sick.
And you got to do it man. I don't think you should get wasted every weekend, but you might want to drink here and there. It's like look at the dudes who do the.
Well, no, I'm not gonna get wasted.
Yeah, but look at the dudes who do the food eating competitions. Everybody for some reason thinks that on the day of the competition, those guys are they don't eat nothing all day, and it's no. The day before they eat a shit ton of food. The next day they eat an apple, and that's it. Because if they didn't fucking eat. Leading up to it, their stomachs would fucking shrink, and they wouldn't be able to put it as much.
Yeah,
food
I remember they did that documentary, and Kobayashi was in Japan, and he went to that all you can eat sushi place, and it was just coming down conveyor belts, and he was grabbing trays. You can just type in a screen what you want, and the stuff will come down conveyor. And he had fucking 3 stacks of 15 plates. And I was like, oh, holy shit!
But that's the thing. The same thing with alcohol. You got to keep your tolerance at a certain level. And that way you aren't having to drink, a gallon of everything when you get down there. And at the same time, it'll keep you at a place where you're not going to, ruin your whole trip because you got a hangover the next day. But at the same time, we're discussing this. It makes us sound like we're all alcoholics.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I feel bad too. Are we fucking drunks?
But we don't get drunk every day. I mean, we do it on the weekend, whatever.
Yeah, no, yeah. But I'm just. That's why I said as soon as we get down there, I'm going right to Walgreens and getting 3 Reign energy drinks for each day, so I can just, you know what I mean, wake up and just keep going,
Yeah.
But no, but I was worried. I was like, man, I can't even do 2 days here. How can I do 2 days in Vegas?
That's why I wondered, my first day.
3 days in Vegas.
My first day, I might have to be sobered up. Second day, get drunk.
I honestly think what we need to do is the last 2 times we went, we were considerably younger than what we are now. And the last 2 times we went, we started drinking right when we got there. I think we need to wait because if we're going to get there early in the morning like we usually do, we should probably wait till 4 in the afternoon to start going.
I did all right the last time. I don't think I can do that again this time. There's no I was fine. I was wasted, whatever. I mean, I was so wasted. I told the story on here where I had spaghetti all over my pants and didn't even know it. And I got up the next day. I got it the next day and got wasted again, and I didn't have a problem doing it. And the thing that's mind blowing,
spaghetti pants will hold me down, man.
I was only 30 then, and now at 38, ain't no way I'm going to be able to do that.
No way you're gonna have spaghetti pants.
No, hell no. I'll be spaghetti pants out for the fucking next 2 days.
Yeah, what's crazy is if you would have had spaghetti pants and you would hit some sort of jackpot. I would have been like, we need to do spaghetti pants again.
No, I agree.
I'd be like, I'd just walk up somewhere and say, yeah, spaghetti? Just throw it on this guy's pants because he's lucky.
I'd be like, that's how my luck rolls. It's I got to have spaghetti all over
I need some ragu on my pants.
Man,
stat.
I'm telling you, I remember my plate, man. Spaghetti, had chicken, mashed potatoes.
I want my whole crotch to be like a buffet.
When Travis said, you can get more than one plate, I was like, I ain't going back, man. That was just a mountain of shit on there. It was like some fucking Simpson shit.
Remember the first time we went, we stayed in the Imperial Palace?
Yeah.
And we had food credits.
Yeah.
And we remember we were trying to find the buffet, and like the buffet wasn't even like the main floor. Like it was on it was on like the 4th floor.
I remember.
And we were trying to find it on the map. I was like, where the fuck is this buffet? And remember, and then all of a sudden you get to the 4th floor, bing, and then there it is, opens up, and there's the buffet.
I remember because I filled out the card about our waiter, and you thought I was like being an asshole, and I was like, no, I was writing like that dude was awesome, and like how amazing he was because.
He really didn't do anything.
No,
though.
he
just gave us a couple glasses of water.
Yep.
We did the rest.
All right, The Intruder. I feel like we got to talk about it.
I totally forgot.
I feel like we got to talk about it because I put it up on Facebook.
Yeah, we need to.
It's I don't know who the hell the
It's
other.
a Dennis Quaid vehicle.
Yeah, who else was in the movie? I don't know their names.
It was Megan Good and the other dude's name. It's Michael something. Fuck, I don't know. He's been in Barbershop and a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, we really came prepared for that.
Yeah,
one.
but anyways, it's basically a movie about a guy who sells a house to some people, and then the guy is pretty much stalking them and won't leave them alone about the house. And he eventually unveils that he's fallen in love with the wife, and the husband's getting kind of creeped out by it. And then eventually you learn that this guy's a nutbag and a half, and it gets really bad. Now I'm going to tell you this: the first hour and like some odd minutes, is
Michael, is it Ely or Eli? I don't know I don't know how you.
This movie is really like I found myself at like 45 minutes to an hour, like going, "Good God, when does anything happen?" In
It's
this
super
movie?
boring.
And then there's this moment in the movie where Dennis Quaid goes crazy, and it's obvious.
Dennis Quaid on a heat check like a motherfucker,
and it is awesome from that point on. But
Dennis Quaid comes in like Randy Johnson in the mid '90s, just a 6'7" lefty throwing 98 at you every chance he can get.
There are things that like as I was watching the movie though, that like I felt like the way they filmed it, like early in the movie they're having sex when they first move into the place, and they filmed it like you were expecting Dennis Quaid to have been watching them, but they never showed that he was. But then later on they do have sex and he is watching them. There's a scene I don't understand where she's taking a shower and husband's gone and he's standing in the doorway, and at this point you're aware.
This is later on in the movie
Yeah.
when you realize Dennis Quaid's a real creep.
Yeah, and he's in love with her, but like he starts taking his clothes off, so I was
Like he's gonna get in the shower with her.
and I didn't understand. I was like, well, but then that doesn't happen because he gets interrupted or some shit because the phone rings. I can't remember.
By the way, Dennis Quaid fucking jacked in this.
That's what
movie.
I was like, damn.
Right when I first saw him, I saw his neck. I go, that Dennis Quaid has been lifted. And then for some reason, he had a bunch of gratuitous scenes with his shirt off, and I was like, oh, this dude is fucking
he had the
jacked.
he had the vein going down his muscle on his arm. I was like, damn.
I was like,
Dennis Quaid will fuck you up.
I was like, he's on some sort of steroids because Dennis Quaid's like 63.
I can't remember the chick's name in the movie. But the scene that happens where like she discovers like there's a secret entryway into the house, and that's how he's been getting in the house, and she follows it all the way through this tunnel, which
I don't understand why she did in the first place.
But when she sticks her head out, when she realizes this tunnel goes to the garage or like the shed or whatever it is, and she sticks her head out and sees him, and was her name Annie? Was that her name?
Nah.
I don't remember.
Hold on.
But anyways.
Keep going.
She sticks her.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, she sticks her head out, and he goes, "Oh no!" and starts chasing her. And as he's running down the tunnel, he's going, "Annie, Annie!" All I heard in my head, I started cracking up as I was watching it because I was thinking of like semis from like Enemy Mine when he was fucking all getting him out of the ground and like that. That's all I heard in my head because he was.
I forgot about Dennis Quaid, Enemy Mine.
His voice was like the same tone, and that's what cracked me up as I started laughing at that shit because that's what it reminded me of.
Speaking of Enemy Mine, I feel like school somehow made you like Enemy Mine.
Oh, I watched it not that long ago.
You like it?
Awesome.
Really?
Awesome movie.
I don't like Louis Gossett Jr. in that movie.
Awesome movie.
You talk about really going for it. Get the fuck out of here.
Didn't he get nominated
He
for that movie?
probably did. This guy's a fucking guy's some sort of frog alien that can have kids. Get the fuck out of here. Life finds a way.
But like this whole movie, like it's absolutely like garbage. Like I said, until he goes nuts.
And that takes like the last 20 minutes. But what's funny about this movie is that so the whole time I'm watching it, every time you watch one of these movies, you know there's some sort of backstory to it about what's really going on. But the whole time, like from beginning to the last 20 minutes, he won't ever leave the property. He keeps showing up mowing the lawn, and I keep thinking, like, what the fuck did you sell it for? Like, why, don't sell it. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, you don't even learn that till like almost
Till the end. And then the end, you find out that he owned a construction company that went bankrupt, and he had to sell his house to pay off all these debts. But I was like, but you want to sell it but still live there?
And you discover, like, he talks about his wife having cancer, so you assume she died of cancer, but then you find out later on that
she killed herself because she was in like stage 4
but
cancer.
she didn't kill herself.
In quotes.
Yeah, like he did it because he was afraid she was going to divorce him and then take the house because he was obsessed with this house.
But he was going to have to sell the house anyway to get rid of all of his bankruptcy debt. The story makes no sense, but the best part of the story is that he told them he was living at the local hotel in town. And then it shows him they confront him at the hotel and say, "Hey,
yeah, he was there.
Leave us alone." But he goes back to his room and it shows him like looking in the mirror and like playing with his gums and teeth, which I thought was really bizarre.
I don't understand it either.
And I was like, what is this for? And that's when I noticed he was really jacked. And I was like, God, this dude is fucking. And it sounds kind of homoerotic, but I was just
homo.
I was just thrown off by how fucking jacked he was. I was like, this is off. It was off-putting is what it was.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, when I saw him, I was like, oh man, he should play Vince McMahon.
I know that's oh my God. That's what I was thinking. I was like, he looks like Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Like, why are you so buff for no reason?
He'd be a perfect Vince McMahon, like in a Vince McMahon biopic.
Oh my God. That is so on point, man. Wow. That's great. But then I noticed, I was like, but then when he was doing that, all I immediately started looking was the backdrop. And I
All
was
the
like,
bricks.
And I was like, his hotel room looks like shit.
Yeah, it's like a shitty brick
Turns out
building.
he was living underneath the house in all these passageways, and
Yeah.
every time they saw him, he was outside of the shed.
But my problem with that whole concept of that is that he told them, like, the reason they went to that hotel is because he had told them that's where he was staying. And the husband wanted to confront him to tell him to get the fuck out. But my thing is that he wasn't really staying there. So how, the coincidence that he was actually there when they went.
So throughout this whole movie, the husband, Michael Eli or whatever, he's already a suspect about this guy. And then my favorite part is when he was putting up the floodlights and the security cameras, and Dennis Quaid shows up out of nowhere and goes, "What are you doing? Why are you putting those up there?" And all this stuff.
Flipping out about it.
And he's like, "Hey, man, this is my house, and I need to feel protected." And he goes, "You don't need that. That's just kids partying out in the field." And he's like, "Well, it's my house." And he goes, "You're drilling in to," I can't remember what he said, the phrase he used, but he goes, "You know how long it took for those vines to grow up the side of the house?" And I was thinking, like, first of all, nobody wants all those vines growing up your house. That's like fucking Mice City. You know what I mean? Like, nobody, what are you talking about?
There's so many things that I didn't understand about this movie. Like, there's like this like sub story of where you find out that the husband had apparently like cheated on the wife or girlfriend or whatever she was at the time, and she's like got issues with it, like moving forward. And he puts himself in a position where he's like, where that chick tries to make out with him, and he's like, "Nah, I need to go home. I can't be here doing this." And my whole thing with like that part of the story, I was like, what the fuck is the point?
Yeah.
Like, it had nothing to do with the overall arc of the movie.
Yeah, for some reason they were trying to make it look like Michael Eli's character was a bad guy,
yeah.
but for no reason. It didn't have anything to do with the storyline.
Like, it was almost like they were trying to make you seem like make you feel like
I wonder if it was like co-written by a guy who had a nice house that was taken out from under him, and so he's like, no, you need some of my perspective on this. Like, no, Dave, it doesn't make any sense.
No,
why do you?
My thing is that
Your guy's a psychopath. He's like, but you gotta understand where he's coming from.
No, it's like they tried to make him seem like he was a bad guy, and like I get to where you would be able to be like, oh yeah, he's a bad guy, and how that could play into the whole idea of him being paranoid about Dennis Quaid coming around all the time, if they were not making it blatantly obvious at this point that Dennis Quaid's a nutbag and doesn't need to be around. If they were trying to play it off like this guy was just paranoid, that would have worked. But
Here's
he
what's
wasn't.
crazy. All this stuff, if you ever get up the guts to actually watch this movie should have been called Just Call the Cops.
Yeah.
because they don't call the
Ever.
they don't call the cops until they actually
Kill him.
disarm Dennis Quaid with a shotgun, who they have at point blank range. And then the wife gets on the phone, and of course, right when she got on the phone, I go, she's gonna do the tagline, and she goes, "Excuse me, we just shot an intruder," and then the dude shoots Dennis Quaid, and the movie's over. And I'm like, you should have called the cops right when he just kept showing up at your house all the time.
Yeah, they try to make it seem like I said, they try to make it seem like he's not being a creep from the wife's perspective, and that he is from the husband's. But the problem that you have with this movie is that they make him a creep from the get-go. Like, from the minute he starts off.
They make it seem like his character is like, it's like shady for some reason, and there's going to be something that comes back on them. And I think they try to make him shady to make a divide, to make it look like there's some sort of divide between them to get. I think maybe they did that, so that's when Dennis Quaid had his in, so he can really get in there and basically cause a divide between her, the wife, and the husband. So the wife likes Dennis Quaid, but the husband doesn't.
But my argument with that whole thing is like that would have worked in this movie had they not just like showed you both sides of it.
Okay, my biggest beef with this movie is Michael. I think his name is Michael Eli. I don't know. It's EALY is what it says. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. Ely. I don't know. That dude. So he has a friend. I don't know the guy's name. He's Tommy from Power. Everybody knows Tommy. If you watch Power, everybody knows he's Tommy from Power. But he has this white buddy.
Mike. That was his name.
His name was Mike. He comes down, right, and he goes, after Michael Eli's character is run off the road as he's jogging, he just gets run off the road by it's probably Dennis Quaid who runs him off the road. But he's got a concussion. He's in the hospital. And so he's in the hospital overnight. He asks Mike he's like, hey, go out there and look out for Annie. Look out for my wife. So Mike, he pulls up and sees Dennis Quaid's car there. So instead of just pulling up at the same spot and walking in and ringing the doorbell and say, hey, is everything all right here? He decides to back all the way down the driveway and then sneak up to the window and look through the window like, oh, are they fucking?
No, he doesn't go up to the window. He's standing in like the trees or the yard or whatever, and Dennis Quaid just happens to see him.
But I'm like, if you're going to check up on her and you see Dennis Quaid's car there and you already know this dude is like is a creepy guy, why not ring the doorbell and confront him and be like, hey, is everything okay here? You know? Why did you hide in the bushes and watch what's going on?
Yeah, no, I didn't understand that at all. Yeah.
It's a horrible movie.
No, like I said,
actually, don't even watch it.
It would have worked if they would have played it from if they would have played it from two ways. If they had played it from the suspicious husband and then did their job to make you question, is Dennis Quaid really creepy? That would have worked better, because it'd have been like, you don't know if he's a creep or not until he becomes a creep. But the fact is, they just make it blatantly obvious he's a goddamn creep.
Yeah.
So there's no like suspense factor to it at all. It's just you waiting for him to go full blown creep through the whole movie. And like I said, once he does, that part's glorious. Like when they're holding the gun to his face, he thinks the gun's not loaded, and I laugh so hard at his after he's been fucked up laugh.
I take it back. My favorite part of this movie is when in the last 10 minutes when Dennis Quaid just goes for it. I mean, he just goes all out crazy, and he throws Megan Good in the bed and he hog ties her, and he's getting ready to do a bunch of stuff. No, he untied her by then, and he's just doing a bunch of stuff. She's like waking up, and he's like on top of her, and he's doing that weird thing where like guys aren't, those movies where guys aren't doing anything sexually to like a woman, they're just like sniffing them and stuff,
Yeah.
And she's just like, get off of me and all this, and then the husband comes in, and Dennis Quaid's like, oh, and then he ties up Megan Good, and he's like, you shut up. And then he's creeping around, and for some reason he just gets on the ground and is like dog crawling like a soldier on the hardwood floor for no reason.
No, yeah.
Those are those movies where everybody's like, Dennis, you've got creative control here. What would you like to do? And he goes, I'm thinking I should just dog crawl on the floor, like an army guy. And they're like, it's all you, Dennis. You're the star.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking when they made this movie.
because it's a pile of shit. The fact that you listened to another podcast that said we should watch this just bewilders me. Where did you come up with this idea to watch this movie? From The Ringer? Or
Yeah, someone on The Ringer said you want to watch a gloriously bad movie. Watch The Intruder.
No, they were right. It's bad.
I'm always looking for gloriously bad movies, but it didn't get glorious until like the last 20 minutes.
Don't watch it, folks.
Yeah, don't watch it.
Yeah, it's bad. 0 out of 5. That's what I give it.
I'm gonna give it a 0.5.
0.5. Okay, yeah, you know what?
Just for Dennis Quaid being so
0.5 because I'll give it a 0.5 because Dennis Quaid, once he does go full blown crazy, and there are little glimmers earlier on in the film. Like there's this part where he's like looking at this tapestry on the wall. And then later on, the tapestry gets taken down and they put up this new painting. And that's kind of the moment you realize, like, you could actually see Dennis Quaid, like, go crazy in this scene. And he doesn't say anything. He just looks at the camera.
I think it might have been Dennis Quaid's real tapestry.
Yeah.
I think they did it to him on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, Dennis Quaid was like, hang this up. This would be good for the movie. And then when they took it down, Dennis Quaid's like, I thought this was going to, my tapestry was going to be in this movie.
Yeah, they took it down. He was mad. So,
yeah.
Well, anyways, that was The Intruder.
All right.
0.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, well, you gave it 0. I gave it 0.5. So
no, I'm giving it a 0.5 because it's got like the last 20 minutes of it are okay. So I can't say it's a 0.
Well,
I did give Fantasy Island a 0 though.
You did?
Yeah, there's nothing good about that movie at all. Bad, and that's pretty bad considering how much I hate Birds of Prey, and I gave it a 1.
Wow. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Anyways.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, hey, stay clean, stay focused.
And don't get dead.
Hurrah.